First of all, I think Rwanda cannot take the blame for the two cases of death because these were people that were repatriated. I think one was a peacekeeper. The 24-year-old was a peacekeeper, a police peacekeeper in an outside country, and then the other one was a truck driver. They were both just repatriated by the time they were really ill, and then they died.
Expound a little bit more on that. When you talk about repatriation, yes, one was a peacekeeper and the other was a truck driver that wanted to go back home.
Sick from outside countries, and then I think when they felt like they would not make it or they felt more ill, they decided, they asked to be repatriated, and then they fell on home soil. But as you asked, is it 10 steps backward? I actually do not think so, because all the cases that have been managed so far from Rwanda, there is no death so far. So you could still count that there is success for the Rwandan medics here.
Let's also look at the COVID-19 relief fund. It finally got into law. The law has been passed. The Central Bank of Rwanda has come out and talked about what will be followed and what kind of packages will be followed. And this seems to take longer than we expected. How crucial is it for this to be operationalized as soon as possible?
When we talk about COVID-19 funding, there are a couple of things already in place. I mean, the government trying to stimulate a number of things, activities, so that there will be recovery from COVID-19. So a lot, I think, has been received. A lot of support has been received from outside global organizations plus outside governments. The United States of America reaching out twice, I think, with $1 million each time, 2 times, and then the Global Fund easing, the Global Fund reaching out with some funding, and also debt relief, and then also the World Bank. I think right now, what really is so key is for Rwanda to plan for these funds, where to put them, how to invest them, and how to use them like well, so that the planned, the things go in a good direction. But I think right now they have where to build from, because the funds are available as far as what has been done just in the recent past is concerned.
Hudson, what did you think on which sectors are going to be or to benefit the most from this COVID-19 relief fund?
Pardon me?
Which sectors do you think are going to be in most need of some form of stimulus package from this COVID-19 relief fund?
Okay, so if you ask me the sectors, first of all, I think we would say the health sector, because it's really burdened. You know, a lot of tests that are being done, and the people are not paying for these tests. But also, you would talk about the hospitality sector, because a lot of losses have been incurred because we don't have tourists these days. And very many of our hotels and travel agencies making a lot of losses. Rwanda, of course, travel. I think those two, health and the hospitality, of course, just to mention these two, but I think everything has been affected. But just these two, I can say at the forefront of the need.
Hudson, just a fortnight back, there was the arrest of the most wanted man when in regards to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. That's Felicien Kabuga in France, in Paris there. And the court ruled this week, the French court there ruled that he will be tried at the United Nations Tribunal ICTR in Tanzania, which had closed shop about a year ago. Why is this important, one, for Rwanda, and at the same time, Rwandans were asking for him to be repatriated and tried in Rwanda? Is there a chance of that even happening?
Well, as far as the chances of him being tried in Rwanda are concerned, I think it's not easy to rule now to see that coming right now. But even being tried in Arusha, I think is a big success as far as what the genocide survivors wanted. Because I think why they really wanted this to happen, him to be tried in Arusha, I think is a couple of reasons. I can guess that perhaps they want him to be tried at a place that is really close to Rwanda so that they will be able to follow this up because they really want the justice. But of course, I think so far, as far as the genocide survivors are concerned and the people that were affected in the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, I think this is very good news for them, for Kabuga to be tried in Arusha.
Uh, is there a chance of the trial happening in Rwanda if Rwanda continues to lobby?
Well, it's hard now to tell, but if Rwanda continues to lobby, who knows? But it's really hard right now to tell. But I think, of course, if Rwanda decides to lobby, I think they can go ahead and lobby. But right now, like I said, I think even now the Arusha part of the things is a success so far.